Let's find out as they come to the line. Yes, we're racing straight away. And look at the big bold lunge from Jacopo Martinez across on Costoya. Bondarev is going to get squeezed here by his main rival, Timo Ramakers. It looks like Lewis Werrell is really struggling to make an impression off the start line. He's really run right, and that's Oliver Kinmark skating off the road. So Kinmark manages to go off the road, rejoins. Got to be careful when you rejoin, Oliver. You do not want to come into the path of the other karts. Lewis Werrell has had a terrible start as well. He finds himself down at the back. So it's not good news for Lewis Werrell either, as now Ramakers and Bondarev are dueling away with the 2:04 of Tiziano Monza for third position. Ramakers holds it for the moment, but Bondarev is definitely going to work him to a craft, as up in front, Martinez has a perfect lead, and it's a bit of a defensive tactic from Christian Costoya to fend off from Ramakers and Bondarev. Up the inside comes Drummond, trying to take on Monza. Game on, Martinez's got a decent gap already.
Lap 1 completed, and look at the move coming, certainly from Timo Ramakers, 4P2. 1.1 second already in just the course of a lap for Martinez. Oh, and a bit of a slide as Timo Ramakers was knocking on the door on Christian Costoya, but despite it, actually in second place, wasn't particularly comfortable in the braking zone, managed to hold on to that second place, and as a result, Ramakers lost momentum as well. Yes, indeed, a couple of positions for the young Belgian, as Bondarev and Tiziano Monza just made their way through. He's going to have to be fighting back the VDK driver in the middle of the pack right now. We have Costoya as well as the other drivers. Let's watch the start. Look at the way Martinez went diving on the right side, tried to block.
Look at Werrell. Werrell has actually drifted off onto the grass. That's why he's down at the back, and he wasn't the only one going off. Noah Wolf drifted off the road as well. So two Brits really struggling at the start of the race, and they drifted down to the back. Thibaut Ramakers has picked up a warning flag for his antics in the start of races. He's got to be careful, as Bondarev has now managed to get through in front of Costoya into the first corner. So it's Martinez who leads the way. Bondarev in a second. That's great news for Bondarev. That's going to give him a 30-point lead in the championship if it stays like this, as Niklas Schaufler drops down the order in the first sector. He's lost quite a few positions.
Yes, indeed, disappointing turn of event, all the way down to 17 for Niklas Schaufler. I've seen one of the people and fans online on social media calling him the young new Niki Lauda, and that's a pretty good surname for Niklas Schaufler coming from Austria.
Oh, but there he is at the back, look. So I'm not sure what happened to him in the first sector, but Schaufler now finds himself dead last, and I don't think he's going to be continuing much further with this race. He's got some kind of problem brewing. Bondarev has pulled out about 0.6 of a second on Costoya, as now they're separate Proudland drivers. Drummond and Monza are closing up. They've got to be careful because Stepan Antonov is on the warpath as well. And the Kart Republic team were telling me at the beginning of the season, watch for Stepan Antonov. He is unbelievably fast. He hasn't really been able to transfer it into anything, as Niklas Schaufler comes into the pits to retire on the end of lap 3. So disappointing for the Austrian.
Yeah, such a shame indeed, as you won't be able to carry those DPK colors any further than that, as in the meantime, the 252, Antonov just made his way past Zach Drummond for 4th place. The British driver is going to have to fight back against Stepan Antonov, or in the Kart Republic colors. In the meantime, the 259 of Martinez is extending his lead lap after lap. This is the ideal situation for the young Italian driver. More than 1 second. So let's see what happened with Oleksandr Bondarev, trying his bit on 267 on Christian Costoya. That was beautifully made by Bondarev for P2. And now he's been able to extend slowly but firmly his gap to 0.5 of a second less than now, because you can see that Bondarev still being put under pressure by Costoya. We're here in the middle of that banking corner, turn of 9, as Noah Wolf put the fastest lap in this race.
So the red mist comes down for Noah Wolf. He goes faster than anybody on track. But this is what we keep saying, isn't it? It's not about what you do when you win. It's about what you do when you don't win. And Bondarev is now a second back from Martinez, and he has got himself into a very solid position. He is trying to pull away from Costoya and Drummond, who is now trying to make his move on his Spanish teammate for 3rd position. Watch out for Antonov in the background, and Tiziano Monza in the Shamrock Europe Paralin in P6. Then Ramakers, Consani, Soleil, and Dries van Langendonk in front of Eilif, Ditiev, Lindblom, and Canthan, who's made some good progress in this race already. Vivek Canthan has made up 8 places. So too, of course, has Tame Soleil. Consani's made up 7. So has Zach Drummond. Antonov's made up 8. But who's made up the most places? Ethan Lennon. He's made up 14 off the start.
There you go, beautiful recovery from Ethan Lennon, the driver from South Africa, making his way up to P15 as a warning flag being picked up by Tim Saleh, the driver in P9.
Oh, lovely bid there as one of the Paralins is going to lose ground. First, he loses out to Kirill Ditiev, that's Jack Iliff, and now Lindblom loses out to Vivek Kanthan. He was so busy focusing on Iliff, he didn't really see that Vivek Kanthan was going to make the move on him as well. So now the two American Paralin drivers, Iliff and Kanthan, can double time their way through the field.
And back in the lead, we said in a moment that it was an ideal position as we see what happened with Tim Saleh in a moment with the 208 trying to get past the 253 of one of the Paralin.
Oh.
Yeah, we saw that briefly. There was a bit of a gesture there, not particularly happy. The Sobrak Academy driver who is in P8 at the moment, again making his way past Andy Consani.
Tim Saleh has gone to the Heinz Howard Frentzen School of Diplomacy there by the look of it. Meanwhile, Oleksandr Bondarev is all over the back of Jacopo Martinez. He's dropped Castoria and Drummond in the Paralins, and now he's going to try and take on the Kart Republic up front in the Cetelar Racing colours. They're in the same awning, of course, don't forget. They are teammates. Martinez running in the Cetelar Racing colours, and there's not a lot that Martinez can do about the oncoming pace of Bondarev. He marches forward. Oleksandr Bondarev takes the lead here in Denmark. Martinez is going to try and come back at him because even though there's a team's championship, there are no team orders between drivers. Bondarev leads Martinez, but I tell you what, this is going to be a hard one for Bondarev to hold on to. But what a charge. From fourth on the grid, he now leads. The Phoenix continues to rise from the flames. Excellent stuff for the Bondi the Phoenix.
And if it stays like that, it will do good to the Kart Republic Motorsport team, currently leading the European Championship after the first two rounds. Another new addition to the FIA karting paysage and international city season, a team championship, and Kart Motorsport was leading the way in front of Forza Racing. Parolin was third and Vidike fourth in front of World Racing. That's for your top five. This has changed suddenly since the qualifying heat and the super heat this morning. This is going to change again. The Kart Republic is right now having two drivers in the lead, and that would mean a lot of points piled up for this new championship.
Well, with Ramakas down in 7th position at the moment, Bondarev is going to extend the gap to 30 points over his Belgian rival, and there is a retirement of the final turn. In fact, there's two of them. It's Mies Huben and Alfie Slater. They've come together in the final bend, I'm afraid. So Mies Huben and Alfie Slater out of the race to join Nicholas Schaffler on the sidelines. Mies Huben is trying to get the kart started again. That won't happen. So Slater and Huben are out. What I was going to mention, though, was that Bondarev, out in front, is likely to be 30 points clear of Tibor Ramakas, and with Werrell not scoring in the top 10, he's down in 18th place. He's going to go a phenomenal 71 points clear of Werrell. If Bondarev can hold on to the victory of this one, he's got one hand on the European Championship trophy heading to the final race in Cremona.
Considering that a victory is worth 30 points, you do the math, that's twice a victory of advance for Bondarev and Lois Werrell. So as you said, would be a pretty easy and comfortable cheer heading to the final of the European Championship in Cremona, Italy by the end of July. We're not there yet. These are some of the early calculations when it comes to the championship. Scott Lindblom, the fastest on track, the Swedish driver, currently all the way down in P12, but climbing as much as he can, 6 places up into at the door, knocking at the door of the top 10. 310 still, as around the inside goes Christian Castoria. The door was open for Zach Drummond as well. Here comes the charge from the Parolin teammates, and there was nothing that Martinez could have done.
Right, now that was absolutely critical for Castoria and Drummond to get through, because now the teammates can assist each other. Drummond is going to get the move on the inside of Castoria. Oh, they banged wheels, and that's backfired. I can't believe it. They were supposed to work together.
You were saying,
and they
assist each other?
They ran rogue. So Drummond going for the move on Castoria. Castoria didn't want it to happen, and that's just gifted Bondarev an absolute fairy tale victory up front.
That's the worst situation that could have happened between those two. Ezra on the inside, Martinez with the 252 behind of Stepan Antonov.
God, look at Drummond. He's lost so many places.
Oh my God.
He's lost 5 positions now to Martinez, to Antonov, to Castoria, to Ramakas, and to Monza. That has gone horribly, horribly wrong for Zach Drummond as the two Parolin teammates essentially turn rogue on each other, and that has absolutely gifted Bondarev over 2 seconds nearly of a lead already.
I feel that Marco Parolin won't be too happy about what just happened between his two drivers. They have to fight back again. And they keep on battling actually further back as Alfred Slater on the sideline just picked up an investigation flag. It's a little bit late, maybe a penalty coming post-race. We'll see about that. Lewis Rurrell trying to come up as well through the field. Oh, Salim Ali, contact with Zach Drummond, and it keeps on going worse for the British driver from Pauline, being kicked a little bit by Saleh, who's opening the door to Thibaut Ramakos as well. And look who went through 203 as well. Kirill Dutiev back in this race, along with Dries van Lagendonk and as well as Scott Lindblom around the position 11, but not for so long. Oh my God, we're gonna have so many drivers pretty much in the same picture heading towards the final stages of this race.
Check out this squabble for 6th position downwards. This is the battle for P2. Martinez, Antonov, Kostoya, Monza. 2 Kart Republic factory drivers, 1 Paralin factory driver and 1 Shamik Europe driver battling away for the 2nd position spot on the podium. But then from 6 downwards, you've got an incredible list of drivers led by the man under investigation, Zach Drummond. And then you've got Didier, Ramakas, Lindblom, Saleh, Consonny, Canthan, Eilif, Lennon, all the way down to Letimaki in 16th place. And with Kaczynski and Werrell looking to join in the party very soon indeed. And Martinez and Antonov are looking to make this a Kart Republic whitewash. Paralin have been so strong all weekend, but it looks like Dino Chiesa's boys could eclipse the podium at the very final furlong.
Dino Chiesa has been one of the legends of the sport for God knows how many years and seasons. Used to be the discoverer and coach back in karting of Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton, just to name a few. The list is endless, and this new generation under the experience of Dino Chiesa and Kart Republic doing wonders once again.
This is an incredible podium lockout for Kart Republic, especially from this man, Stepan Antonov, in 3rd position. He started back in 13th on the grid, so he's made up 10 places. Only Vivek Canthan can match him, and only Roman Kamyab, who's made up 11, and Ethan Lennon, who's made up 16, can better that. So very impressive stuff. But will Antonov want to settle for 3rd position? I doubt it somehow. I think he'll want to go for Jacopo Martinez and take on the place. Now, because the two of them are working together, they're actually chipping away at Bondarev's advantage slightly. The gap was 1.9. It's now down to 1.7, although Martinez is trying to stretch out the advantage he's got on Jacopo Martinez. Look, the gap comes down again to 1.6, and here comes the cavalry, led by Drummond, Titiev and Lindblom, the 2 Tony Kart teammates, having a little bit of a battle as well now. So Scott Lindblom is going to try and take on his teammate, but they need to be careful because Dries van Lagendonk in the Forza Racing Expert is behind them. Here goes the move from Lindblom. He gets through. Lewis Werrell, meanwhile, picks up a warning flag. So he finds himself down in 14th, making as many places as he possibly can. He's up to 138. Thibaut Ramakos, by the way, is down to 164. And we have a retirement. It's Oliver Kinmark. Oliver Kinmark has gone off at turn 1. Very unfortunate for the Koski driver.
And what on earth happened to Thibaut Ramakos as well in the process? He lost so many positions as a result.
18th. Look at that.
18 overall for the young Belgian from VDK as a result certainly of the tussle within the midfield, and desperation unfortunately can be read quite easily.
Well, this is an even bigger fairy tale now for Bondarev, because it looks as though Werrell is going to score a few points more for the championship. Ramakos is not going to add to his score because this is going to be his drop round at this point. So for Bondarev, he's going to have 42 points advantage on Thibaut Ramakos heading to the finale in Cremona. He won't have won the championship, but he'll have as good as.
That's a gold situation for Oleksandr Bondarev. Kart Republic will put 2 drivers already in the podium in Valencia with Thibaut Ramakos back in the day with as well Oleksandr Bondarev. There were none of them in, just Oleksandr Bondarev actually on the podium in Trinec, along the likes of Lewis Rurrell and Zach Drummond. This time around, this could be a triple result for the Italian factory. It's worth mentioning as well the spurring results and the unfortunate turn event for Forza Racing, Lewis Rurrell as well as Dries van Lagendonk. We might have expected maybe a little bit more from both the British and the Belgian, but they've been battling along. Dries van Lagendonk won brilliantly, one super heat this morning, but this wasn't enough apparently by the look of it to put him in the position he would have wanted. 9 overall, he lost 3 places from P6. And Forza Racing really kept on building on strong performances from those 2 drivers, but when came the moment to confirm and try to finish as high as possible, unfortunately they didn't deliver due to different circumstances in this race, as Lewis Rurrell unfortunately having to really dropping back into the field. At the moment, he's in P13. And Dries van Langenong trying to get close to Kirill Ditsiev, 4/10 of a second. Let's see what the young Belgian can save from this final that has been really, really difficult for the British team.
It's been a really strong race in the midfield, hasn't it? Lots of great racecraft and lots of big fights needed. Here's Arjen Kneling, the German driver. What's he been up to? Oh, that's a lovely move, actually, if he's pulled that off. He's actually ended up running wide as a result. Kaczynski selling him the dummy and getting him back through. Scott Lindblom having a bit of a battle out there as well. Such an incredible race battle. May we give a shout out at this point to the British driver, Noah Wolf, who ran off and dropped to the very back of the field at the end of, as Timo Ramekes now runs off the road. It's going from bad to worse for the Belgian. But just to pick off on Noah Wolf, he dropped to the back of the field on the very first corner of the very first lap. That's 36th. Where is he now? 21st. That is quite the recovery from Noah Wolf. An incredible performance from the British driver so far. Where's Lewis Werrell? Well, he's up to 11th position, so he now will add points to his tally. Timo Ramekes has fallen all the way to 16th, so he's desperately trying to add more points to his tally, but it's not looking good for him at the moment. As we look at what Zach Drummond's been up to of late, here's his move on Christian Gustoya. This is the move where they turned rogue. Neither driver conceding, and that's how Bondarev got away.
Yeah, that's where the race of both Pauline drivers went from good to worse, and this will mean they will miss not only on the victory but on the podium as well, with Gustoya in 4th, 7/10 down, and Zach Drummond in P6, trying to recover still, but a long way behind in terms of pure performance, and time, of course, is not on his side to try to make up for the ground that he lost.
This title isn't over yet. There's still quite a bit to play, as here is Oleksandr Bondarev. This is how he managed to get the move on Jacopo Martinez. He had a good run off the turn. Martinez knew he was coming. There was not much point to fight him. Bondarev had the momentum and the speed, so it was always going to be ever thus. Noah Montero picks up a warning flag now, as we watch Antonov closing back up on Martinez once again. The gap is only down to 1.2 seconds, so this isn't over yet. Martinez still feels he can look after the tyres just a little bit better than Bondarev up front, but he's going to have big pressure from Antonov. And Castorio and Monza need to stay hungry. There's the move from Antonov. Antonov gets Martinez in the final turn. Up at his second place then goes Antonov as we go into the final lap. Bondarev pretty much has this one on a silver plate. Antonov in second from Martinez, but I don't really see this coming back to him.
Yeah, fantastic battle into the last lap. Antonov, Martinez, in which order will they see the checkered flag of this race? Far away from Oleksandr Bondarev. The Czech Republic driver has the advantage now. Can the Chetil Racing driver, can try to switch positions again in the second part of the track. He only has a couple of corners to do so. Maybe the banking could be a good opportunity, unless he waits until the very last corner. We've seen that before.
Meanwhile, up front, the man from Ukraine is literally now within just a few points of becoming European champion in Cremona. Out of the final turn, the Phoenix from the Flames has done it again. Oleksandr Bondarev wins in Denmark. Oh my goodness. What a moment. His second win in a final this season. And the man from Ukraine is just a few short qualifying heats, 5 weeks from now, away from clinching the European Championship. One hand on the championship trophy. A year ago, he was in a Barcelona hospital, not even sure if he'd walk again, never mind race again. And he is now just a few points away from being crowned the European champion of 2023. And he knows it. He can feel it. He believes it. Oleksandr Bondarev, Bondy the Phoenix. Oh my goodness. What a moment for Oleksandr Bondarev. Such a mature and composed drive. And what a fairy tale FIA karting is writing in 2023. I'm not crying, you're crying. Oleksandr Bondarev takes the win again from Stepan Antonov and Jacopo Martinez, Christian Gustoya, Tiziano Monza and Zach Drummond. Kirill Ditsiev from Dries van Langenong, James Soleil and Scott Lindblom. Lewis Werrell, Jack Iliff, Annie Consani, Vivek Ganthan and Kian Fardin. amazing drives. Ethan Lennon up 13 places ahead of Sebastian Letomaki. Noah Wolf from 30th back down to last, then up to 18th. Take a bow. Gerazim Skudanov, Elliot Kaczynski, and Thibaut Ramakers down to 21st. Noah Montero ahead of Ardian Kleiling, Sebastian Kopeng, and Murat Oroka. Salim Hanna, Yindra Peschel, Roman Kamyab, Gabriel Koenigan, and Davide Bataro ahead of Luis Francis and Alpak Soy. And then the retirements, Oliver Kinmark, Mies Huben and Alfie Stater, and very unhappy, Nicholas Schaufler. The Virtual Championship shows that Oleksandr Bondarev now has 206 points. The Thibaut Ramakers on 164. The gap is 42 points, with Cremona coming up in 5 weeks' time. History is about to be made in 2023. What a great battle for the first corner it was between Martinez and Costoya. Martinez got the run. There's Werrell going off, and there's Noah Wolf going off in unison. But they both charged forward. Werrell to 11th, Wolf to 18th. The two Brits definitely deserve some credit for that. Oliver Kinmark in the first of 2 offs. Kinmark drifting off the road and dropping back for the first. And now he rejoins the field, but he would come off the road later on again. But then the battles began. First, a little bit of his fisticuffs as several drivers dropped down the order. And Bondarev sorted out his moments here. On the inside of Christian Costoya, he got into second place and set off on the march of Jacopo Martinez up front. A great opportunity knocking. Tame Soleil had his battles out there on the course. He wasn't particularly happy with the duels around him. But once Bondarev sought out Martinez, caught him and passed him, that was it. Game over as far as everyone else was concerned. There were great battles further back, lots of great overtaking moves. Not every one of them worked. Costoya made sure that there was a race to battle for by diving up the inside of Martinez and taking teammate Drummond with him. Then the Parolin boys went rogue. They tangled, they banged wheels, and that's how Bondarev got away. From that moment, the victory was assured for the Ukrainian up front. Good to see the Tony Kart twins of Ditiev and Lindblom battling for their corner as well. Lindblom getting himself a final end to the race there in the top 10. Martinez managing to fend off Antonov until the penultimate lap, when Antonov stormed through to take second. But up in front, the Phoenix continues to write his own path to the top of the sport. Everything he touches turns to gold in 2023. Second in Valencia, first in Trnec, first in Rodby. And in 5 weeks' time, he could become the first Ukrainian ever to win an FIA karting European Championship title. What a history maker. Wow, this sport really does deliver by the spade, doesn't it? So many incredible racers. You want them all to win. You want them all to do their best. You want them all to triumph through adversity. But this story just has so much glory all over it. There is Oleksandr Bondarev. What a fairy tale. So nearly the champion now. 42 points ahead of Ramakers. Stepan Antonov embraces the team as well. What a drive back from him. 11 places made up to be second place. And Jacopo Martinez, third on the grid. Dino Chiesa has never had it so good in the European Championship. Look at them embracing Jacopo Martinez. He's had such a strong weekend, and that's his first FIA Karting Championship podium. But for Oleksandr Bondarev, he is so close now to becoming European champion. All he has to do effectively is show up and show off in Cremona, and he could be the 2023 European Junior Champion.
The Ukrainian Phoenix. Please welcome your winner in Denmark, Oleksandr Bondarev! Please welcome as well to celebrate Danish style this fantastic victory, the representative of Car Republic and former driver, Mr. Tom Joyner, is with us. And the Lion of Car Republic, of course, stepping at the podium to celebrate this triple of fantastic performance for Car Republic. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to the national anthem of Ukraine. Applause, please, everybody, for your top 3 driver of the junior class. What a moment for you, Oleksandr Bondarev, for Stepan Antonov and Jacopo Martinez. Let's reward the driver in 3rd place. And please welcome back Mr. Henrik Moller-Nielsen, the chairman of the Danish Automobile Sports Federation, to give out the well-deserved trophy to your driver from Italy, Jacopo Martinez. Bravo! Congratulations, Jacopo. Beautiful weekend and the podium in the end. For the driver in 2nd place, please welcome back Mr. Thomas Bach, Vice President of the National Olympic Committee and the Sporting Federation of Denmark, to reward a fantastic race, rewarded by the 2nd position for Stepan Antonov. And finally, please welcome back the Vice President of the FIA Karting Federation, Mr. John Ryan, to deliver the trophy to the winner. Another victory this season for Oleksandr Bondarev. 3 rounds, 2 victories, a monstrous advantage in the championship. And finally, it would not be complete with a trophy for the team. Please welcome back Mr. Thomas Bach to deliver the trophy to Mr. Tom Joyner to celebrate this fantastic achievement for Car Republic. Congratulations, KR. It has been an extraordinary demonstration of force, leading not only the Drivers' Championship, but the team's championship by far from the rest of the opposition. Congratulations to everybody here. You can join. Thank you very much, ladies. You can join the drivers and the representatives with the flowers for each of our 3 drivers of the junior class. Fantastic performance at the end of what has been an hectic weekend. Don't forget the photos. Don't forget the smiles, ladies and gentlemen, to raise those trophies and flowers in the air. What a beautiful picture that will be all over the world on social media for the days to come. Oleksandr Bondarev picking up a monstrous advantage in terms of points in the classification. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You can now leave the drivers to the last part of our ceremony, the champagne, of course, always much awaited part of the ceremony to conclude on a high this beautiful ceremony and this weekend of racing. Thank you very much indeed. We will find you back after the OK podium ceremony in just a few moments. But now, for the top 3 juniors, champagne! Bravo, bravo to our top 3 juniors, Oleksandr Bondarev, Stepan Antonov, Jacopo Martinez, winner of round 3 of the European Championship in Denmark. Beautiful performance that is. And we're going to take a little bit of a breather, but stay with us because we have, in a few moments, the cherry on the cake with the final of the OK class. And I can see as well that Mr. Dino Chiesa, the master of Car Republic, maybe joining the top 3 drivers, of course, with Mr. Tom Joyner, representative of the team. Yes, please do get along, gentlemen, for that souvenir picture of this triple result for Car Republic. Beautiful picture that is. Thank you very much indeed. Back to you, Jake, as we're getting ourselves ready for the driver's presentation of the OK class. Stay with us, strap yourself to your seat, get your popcorn out, because this last one is going to certainly be the best of all.